Welcome back. I was gonna make a little video. Um, I had like an eye-opening moment yesterday, day before, something like that, of finances. And I mean, I know about interest rates and paying money back and all that stuff. That's not a big deal. I've always knew and all that. And I got to sitting down doing my finances, sitting here in this chair, laying back like it's look like I got a big old belly on me. But anyways, I was sitting down thinking about it, and the debt I have always gonna have debt having a business. Or I say that I'm thinking about trying to go debt free. It's gonna be hard, but it is what it is. Like, I have a sawmill payment, I got an edger payment, buying stuff down here, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that these are the interest rates I have or this is the amount of money I have or anything, borrowed. But I was thinking, if I got $100,000 and as high as interest rates are right now, you get like some equipment up there is like 8% or whatever. It's sort of like buying a car. But I was just say 10%. $100,000, that's $10,000 a year. And I roughly figured last night. I just did math to come up with what I needed. I'm not saying this is the amount of interest I pay every year, but I figured it if I paid $15,000 a year in interest for 20 years. I'm 38, so when I'm 58 years old, if I had a 10% return, just using, I'm paying 10% interest, I'm gonna get a 10% return, putting it in the stock market, whatever. These numbers are fictitious, but they're sort of realistic. In 20 years, I'd be a millionaire. That's saying I'm having 15,000 invested today, and I'm putting 1250 a month in. 1250 is 15,000 a year. And again, I just blew all these numbers up for it, which I'm probably paying $10,000 a year in interest, on loans and all that kind of stuff. Now I know, like, the longer you have a loan, the you pay more interest up front and less in the end and all that. But just simplicity to break it down, I'm going simple with it. Just that. But I was like, that is dumb. Why am I sitting here doing that? Like, I did it because I'm 100% glad I bought the sawmill and all. And I've been sitting here thinking about buying a kiln and a motor planer, and I would love to have like a skid steer or a telehandler or something like that to help handle logs and all. I'd really like to have a telehandler so I could。unload log trucks. But like 18 wheelers, the big ones. But I'm sitting here thinking that, and I'm like, no, I'm not fixing to do that. Like, I can get by with what I got. I'm not going to be debt free. This is October, mid October. There's no way I'll be debt free by the end of the year. Don't know if I'll be debt free by the end of next year. But I was like, I'm not going to do it anymore if I can help it. Something may come up and I got to borrow money, or it may make sense, but what has happened is I grew up with 3% interest rate, and you don't think about it. 3%, all right, $100,000 is $3,000. You're like, nah, $3,000 ain't bad. But now it getting close to 10%, like, that's a lot. That's life changing money. Just to be given to some financial institution. And y'all may need to think and look at this also. See what you have and all that kind of stuff, uh, and just think about it. Cause like I said, it was a slap in my face. Um, I think I think I'm gonna probably by the end of the year, if Lord willing, if the good Lord will get me out of it, you know, he'll supply me with plenty of business and all that, and I can make money and my health stays good and all that. I'm hoping that maybe by the end of 2026, I'm debt free or very, very close to it. Um, I think I can get, I know I can pay two loans off. I could pay them off today if I wanted to, but I like to have a little cash reserve. Um, so I think I'm going to try to have them paid off by December, maybe by mid-November, and then a third one. I'm hoping by January or February at the latest. If I get um, a couple big jobs, I'm hoping about, I may have that one paid off in the next month or two. And the reason why is they're different businesses. You know, I have like three or four businesses. You know, and everything's split up. And this is business debt. It's not really personal debt. I bought a boat. You know, that interest is high. Like, and I had no intentions of taking 18 years to pay that boat off. I borrowed the money so that I would have extra cash, and I'm planning to. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna have it paid off next year, but it's gonna be paid way on down. I'm uh, I'm planning on here about December paying $1,000 a month or so, something like that on it. Throw that on there. I think I owe 16, so you know if I put $1,000 a month on it for 6, 7 months, and then wait till next deer season, do it again. I mean, I'll probably have it paid off by not this coming up summer, but the next, you know. And that's a lot. Like, and if I can pay it off before then, that'll be fine. But I got it and got some more business debt and all, you know. And what really got me to thinking about it was I like to watch Dave Ramsey and all them, but I watched a video of this young guy, I think in like Atlanta or somewhere, or Georgia or whatever, and he was like 28 years old or something, and he did about $4 million a year in land clearing, and he had like 1.5 million in debt, and he was stressed, getting burnt out, sort of like me, because he was making, he was profiting probably 400,000 or something like that. He said he profited about 10%, but people was dragging on paying and this and that and all that, and he was getting burnt out, and he was thinking about selling his business. And Dave was like, how about you sell half of your equipment and pay the other half off, then you can do less work and make probably just as much money. He was like, if you're not making, you know, $10,000-15,000 a month in payments, or maybe more than that, you know, $20,000 a month in payments. He was like, so you cut your revenue in half, you'll be, you know, do $2 million or $3 million this year, and you can profit 200 off of it, but then you're not having payments. Then you can make another 200,000 because you don't have those payments anymore. And that's what got me to thinking about it, and really sitting down. And you know, I like to watch stuff like that. I watch videos and movies and all that are useless, just eating your brain. But I like to watch stuff that really mean, you know, try to better myself. And I was like, you know, that makes sense. Like, I'm putting about $600 a month into my retirement, into the stock market and stuff like that, which all businesses I do is sort of retirement, but they won't work if I don't work, really. So that's not a great thing to do per se, but I was like, man, if I could put another $1,200 a month towards my retirement, I could probably hit retirement by 50, you know, like full retirement. Now, my goal is in 2 years I'll be 40 to sort of be semi-retired. Like, I'm always on work. I love to work, but I just, man, that just hit real hard. And I was like, if I could have done this 10 years ago, I made some bad business decisions about 10 years ago and all, gotten some debt and hard times and all that. And I realized, and saying that, I thought about something else like Warren Buffett and his buddy, I can't remember his name, but they talk about debt is awful. If you got debt, when hard times come, you're screwed because you still got to make them payments, and that's what'll make you go bankrupt. And I'm not gonna say I won't have any debt, but I want to have good debt. If I have it, like I want to say I buy a kiln, and I'm not gonna say it costs $50,000. I'm not gonna borrow $50,000. I'd rather borrow 25,000 and put 25 towards it, and then charge, like I got a $50,000 payment that I'm having to make $1,000 a month. So you factor that into running your kiln and all, and charge like that, and make your money, and then hurry up, pay it off. You get a 4-year loan, pay it off in 2 years or something, and be great. But I don't think it would be feasible for me to do that this next year. As bad as I want a kiln and a motor planer and all, I think I'm gonna buy like a 20-inch Grizzly. They're expensive. They're $3 or $4 grand, and that's another reason why I was like, probably not gonna be able to completely pay everything off. But I see if I have that planer, I can plane some air dried lumber for people that's gonna build like outside furniture, patio stuff or whatever, outdoor kitchens and all that, and be able to upsell it. Instead of selling it for 80 cents a board foot, sell it for $1 a board foot or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there. And it won't cost me 20 cents a board foot probably to run it. I can make me 10 cents off of it. And if I do, a couple thousand board foot or 10,000 or linear feet, not board feet, but linear feet a year, like it'll be well worth it. But that's sort of my plans and all, and I hope this helps somebody. Just think about your debt, and do you really have to have it? Like I have enough cash reserves if my truck blew up. I'm not saying I'm rich or anything by no means. Like I can't go buy a brand new truck or nothing, but if my truck messed up, I could go buy another $5,000-$10,000 vehicle because I have that much cash, and I need that much cash to operate on. It'd be a struggle, but I want to be able to have more money to be able to buy a nicer truck or whatever. Not that vehicles really matter to me, but like I was saying, in a couple years, I'm planning on going and traveling the country. I want to start like leaving in April, May, something like that, and say go to Colorado or something and camp and travel and see Glacier National Park and Yellowstone or the Badlands, whatever. Just go somewhere, And but if I got debt, it's gonna be hard to do, And but that's my plan. I hope this helps y'all. Again, I know I've said that a bunch, but think about yourself, your debt, what you're spending in payments. If your car payment's $800 a month, if you got a 8% or 10% interest rate, think about how much money that is. There's an app called the Atomization Table. Get on there and look at it and put it in. Like, say you borrow $100,000 at a 4% interest rate or something. You're buying land or something like that, and it'll break it down. It'll tell you, like my boat, it's got a 17, I think, percent interest rate for like 18 years. It's $240 a month for like the first 6 years. $20, so I'm average $20 goes towards the principal every month, and the rest is all interest. it takes that long. But saying that, with the boat, whenever I got it, I perfectly understood what I was doing, and I have it set up so that $240 go out on the day of the payment, and then every 15, I'm gonna say 15 days, just to imagine it's a 30-day month, but every 15 days I pay $240. So theoretically it'll be paid off in like 4 years or something, and that's sort of the plan. Plus, like I was saying, come December or something like that, when deer season gets going, if I got extra cash, once I build up my cash reserves again, I'm probably gonna put like $1,000 a month extra on it. If I can hurry up, knock all that high interest out, then more of it will go towards principal. Already, I mean, I'm already way ahead, because of paying it like that. I think I've had it since June, so I had to make a payment July, August, September, October. I made 4 payments, so I made like 8, you know. And you do the math on that, I'm way ahead, because what I made on payments was just, way ahead on it. But, or that's how it's supposed to be. Now, whether or not it is or not, and I know it is because I look at it, and you can tell. I think last month I didn't make an extra payment. As a matter of fact, I think I forgot. Like, I have to go in and do the extra payment, but I think I could see that, like, I owed $16,280, and then this month when the bill come, it was like $16,260, where every other month it was dropping like 250, 60 bucks, and all that. And it helps. You can even make, instead of paying one lump sum, say you get paid every week on your payments, say you owe $800 on something. Just imagine there's 4 weeks in a month. If there's 5, that's fine, you paid extra. Pay $200 every week, and guess what? Your payment, you will pay stuff off faster, because the interest was paid before the payment was due and all. And it works. It like builds some, I don't know how, but I watched some stuff on it, and they say it just builds and helps pay it off earlier. Like, not a lot. I'm not saying like it's life-changing money, but like you might be able to pay something off a year early, but and that's including in, there's like 4, 5, 5th weeks, in the year or something like that. So that extra $200 helps you, if that makes sense. So think about them kind of things, and I hope this video helps y'all. I'm getting off here. I got to go do some more work. Some people's coming, and I got to saw some lumber and all that kind of stuff. But it was good talking to y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video.